Imagine this for a moment. You're driving to work tomorrow morning, everything exactly the same as every other day. The same route, the same speed, the same rules you've followed for years. But suddenly, flashing blue and red lights appear in your rearview mirror. You pull over, wondering what you've done wrong, and the officer hands you a $500 fine. You're shocked because you didn't think you broke any rule. But here's the truth. The rules changed in November 2025, and no one told you. Welcome back to Senior Benefits Guide. Today, I'm breaking down the massive Australia-wide traffic rule changes that came into effect this November. These changes aren't small updates. They're major new rules that can cost you hundreds, even thousands of dollars if you don't know them. So listen carefully, because this information may literally save your license. Let's start with the biggest change: mobile phone laws. You already know using your phone while driving is illegal. But now, even touching your phone is banned unless it's locked into a mounted holder. That means no adjusting it at a red light, no picking it up off the seat, no tapping to check the GPS, not even while parked on the side of the road if your engine is running. States like New South Wales and Victoria have introduced advanced AI cameras that can detect phone use through your windscreen, even at night, even in bad weather. The penalty is now $550 and 5 demerit points, which is enough to put many people close to suspension. The second massive update is school zones. Previously, school zones operated for a few hours in the morning and afternoon. But from November 2025, school zone hours have been extended dramatically across all states, from 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. on school days. That's nearly the whole day. The 40 kilometers per hour limit is enforced throughout these hours. And here's the kicker: fines in school zones have doubled. Going just 10 kilometers per hour over can cost you more than $600, and repeat offenses can trigger license suspensions. Next, let's talk about roundabout rules, because this is confusing thousands of drivers. The law now makes it crystal clear that when you enter a multi-lane roundabout, you must choose your lane before entering and stick to it. Lane changes inside the roundabout are heavily enforced and only allowed if absolutely safe and signaled. Police have been targeting busy roundabouts during peak hours and issuing fines right on the spot. The penalty, $380 and 3 demerit points. Moving on to parking laws, councils across Australia have cracked down harder than ever. The new rule says you cannot park within 10 meters of an intersection, up from the previous 3 meters. Parking facing the opposite direction of traffic is now illegal everywhere, even on quiet residential streets. And parking on nature strips or footpaths is completely banned, even if your neighborhood has always done it. Rangers and parking inspectors are patrolling daily, and fines range from $200 to $400, depending on location. Seatbelt laws have also tightened significantly. It's not enough to simply wear a seatbelt. It must be positioned correctly. If the belt is under your arm, twisted, loose, or behind your back, that is now an instant offense. Police officers are checking seatbelt positioning during every traffic stop. The fine is $410 and 3 points. One rule that's surprising many drivers is the new pedestrian crossing law. Previously, you only needed to give way once a pedestrian stepped onto the crossing. But now you must stop if a pedestrian is anywhere within 10 meters of the crossing and clearly appears to be intending to cross. They don't have to step onto the road for you to stop. Cameras are being installed across major intersections to enforce this. The fine is $460 and 3 demerit points. For people who tow caravans, trailers, or trade equipment, towing laws have been completely updated. Maximum towing speed on highways is now capped at 100 kilometers per hour, down from 110. On roads under 80 kilometers per hour, you must drive at least 10 kilometers per hour below the posted limit when towing. Trailer lights, indicators, brake lights, reflectors must all be fully functional, or your trailer can be impounded during roadside checks. The penalty for non-compliance is $530, plus towing and storage fees. Cyclists and motorcyclists also benefit from new protections. Drivers must now pass cyclists with at least 1 meter of space in speed zones up to 60 kilometers per hour and 1.5 meters in faster zones. If you can't safely provide this distance, you must slow down and wait. Motorcyclists are now allowed to lane filter at speeds up to 30 kilometers per hour when traffic is slow or stopped, and car drivers cannot deliberately block them. Penalties for passing a cyclist too closely start at $417. Now let's talk about one of the most important categories, drink and drug driving. While the limits themselves haven't changed, penalties have gone up dramatically. A first offense for going above the 0.05 alcohol limit now carries a minimum $1,000 fine and an immediate 6-month license suspension. Learner and provisional drivers must remain at 0 blood alcohol, and any detection results in an automatic 12-month suspension. Drug driving has become even stricter, with more frequent roadside tests and immediate suspensions for positive results. Disabled parking laws have also tightened. If you use someone else's disabled permit, even if it's a family member, you can be fined $1,000. Parking in a disabled bay without a valid permit is $660. Councils now photograph every vehicle in disabled spots and verify permits instantly using databases. Heavy vehicle drivers face new requirements as well. Any vehicle over 4.5 tons must now use an electronic logbook. Paper logbooks are being phased out by December 2025. Drivers must take mandatory rest breaks every 5 hours and cannot exceed 12 hours of driving in a 24-hour period. Penalties start at $1,000 for drivers and $5,000 for companies. Dashcam rules have also changed. If you're involved in a crash or investigation, police can legally demand access to your dashcam footage, and refusing can lead to obstruction charges. But if your dashcam records dangerous driving from someone else, you can upload the footage to new state police portals and they will investigate the other driver. Learner and provisional driver restrictions got stricter too. Learners must now complete 120 supervised hours, including 20 hours of night driving. P-plate drivers are banned from using any phone functions, including GPS, even if the phone is mounted. They must use a separate GPS or navigate without technology. Additionally, P1 drivers can only carry one passenger under 21 at all times, day or night. Red light and speed cameras have expanded massively. Almost every major intersection now has red light cameras. The 3-second grace period has been completely removed. If any part of your vehicle crosses the stop line after the light turns red, even by a fraction of a second, you will be fined. Red light fines are $590 and 3 demerit points. Emergency vehicle rules have also been updated. If an emergency vehicle is approaching with lights and sirens, you must move left and slow down. You are now allowed to carefully go through a red light to make room, but only if it's absolutely safe. New camera systems will automatically detect emergency vehicles and prevent fines from being issued to drivers who move for them. Electric vehicle owners have new responsibilities as well. EVs must emit a low-speed warning sound when traveling under 20 kilometers per hour to alert pedestrians. If your EV does not have this, you must install the feature by December 2025. Charging station rules are also strict. You must be actively charging to park there. And once charging is finished, you have just 15 minutes to move your vehicle or face a $200 fine. So how do you avoid all these new fines? First, check your state's transport website for the November 2025 updates. Second, adjust your driving habits immediately. Slow down, don't touch your phone, give cyclists space, and stop earlier for pedestrians. Third, check your car. Lights, indicators, tires, trailer connections. And if you have young drivers in your family, teach them these new rules, because most of them were not taught this in driving school. Drivers like John from Melbourne learned the hard way. He got 3 fines in a single week: $500 for touching his phone at a red light, $400 for not stopping early enough at a pedestrian crossing, and $300 for parking 9 meters from an intersection instead of 10. That's $1,200 in 1 week because he didn't know the November rules had changed. These changes are permanent, and the government has already announced stricter rules for 2026. Camera technology is more advanced than ever. It can read through windscreens, detect phone use, and measure your speed with incredible accuracy. So drive like you're being watched, because you probably are. If this update helped you understand the new November 2025 rules, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, share this with your friends, and stay safe on the roads. More important updates are coming soon.